Hello, everyone. Marjorie Roman here, and we are super excited to see you on another episode of Franchise Your Success. And we have the amazing, the one and only Dan Olsen. Thank you so much for coming today.
Oh, I'm grateful to be here, Marjorie. Always a pleasure. Thank you. You have some really good questions always from our social media viewers, and I appreciate that.
Well, and thank you to our audience for always popping your questions on our DMs, because we truly want to make sure that we get them all answered. So thank you so much for doing that, you guys. And today we're going to talk about the system. We've been getting a few questions about the franchise system. And you always mention how the franchise system is a proven system for success. So first of all, what is the franchise system?
So first of all, thank you. It's a step-by-step process. It's a blueprint. And we hear a lot of words out there today about following a template. If I hand you a template and a little checklist, boom, 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 it makes it much easier to follow something like that. You just check things off. And so a franchise system is designed to help you succeed so you don't have to make as many mistakes. In fact, what the word system stands for, if you look at S, Y, etc., it stands for save yourself time, energy, and money. So that's really what a system is all about. Do you want to save time? Or you want to go create it on your own and build it on your own? A lot of people do, but it takes a lot of time and effort and a lot of capital. But you can typically save yourself that time and money and effort by following something that's already proven, that works. And by proven, what I mean is something that makes money. I mean, why do you buy a business? Why would you buy a business?
To make more profits.
To make money, right?
That's right.
So the idea behind a franchise is to help people make more money with an increased success rate. And one of the biggest things that allows that success rate to be so high in franchising is that system, that blueprint that's already in place. So therefore, what we have to do when we look at a franchise is we see that what's in place. We look at the numbers. We look at how it's producing. We look at, can we do the same thing? Can we feel comfortable enough to follow that system so that we can also produce similar type numbers? In fact, we may even do better because we know who we are and we know our capabilities and our mindsets and the ability to produce even bigger numbers that some of those franchisees have already done. So it's nice just to step into something that's already done, where we don't have to make those same mistakes that they've already made. And it's probably spent hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars getting it to where it is today. We don't have to do that.
That's right. And that's one of the perks about having a system, that they have already made all of those mistakes for you. You don't have to waste your time, because time is money. You don't have to waste your time into making all of those processes, because the franchise has already done them for you. So when it comes to the system, you mentioned that it's a blueprint. So what are some of the components that we would get as a part of that system?
Yeah, so when you look at the business world and you think about, oh, wow, I don't know if I can do all this, and I have my strengths over here in accounting. I'm an accountant. I know the numbers, and I know how to look at the numbers in the business, but I don't know anything about marketing. I don't know how to drive customers in the door. That's what some of these systems look at. So it's looking at the accounting systems that are already set up, how to analyze your numbers, look at things so you can grow, because as we know, business, when we can be accountable for the numbers and we can be accountable for what we're doing, our business grows. We got to look at the numbers. So that's one thing that's already in place. Then the other thing is, we do not have a business without customers. So if the customers are coming in the door, how are they getting there? So as we analyze that in the franchise, we see the marketing is driving those customers in the door, and then there's conversions of those to become your lifelong customers. And then there's other little things behind that of keeping track of those customers and continuing to promote to them always. So there's a new special here and there, so they'll come driving back into your brick and mortar store if that's what you acquire. So marketing systems are already in place. Then the other thing that franchise systems do is buying power. So you go out and try to buy the food for your franchise, or you try to buy supplies for your business to support the franchise. Do it on your own. Chances are you don't have the buying power that other franchises do, because they have volume, and you can tap into that and lower your prices. So that's a system, buying power. And when you look at also human resources or other types of support, payroll systems and things that are already in place. And one of the big systems is, how do you find the right location for your franchise?
That's right.
So if you have the right location, if you're brick and mortar especially, you got to know where to go. You got to know if these people are the right people. And I should say, with a system to help you find or locate that, that's usually a big piece of the battle that allows you to succeed. Now, these systems for finding the right location include finding the right demographics, psychographics, even sociographics, to make sure that your audience is just right for your program and just right for your product and service offering. And that's a big help that allows you not to make that mistake of putting your location in the wrong place and even signing a lease that's too high, that doesn't give you free rent for a number of months. There's different things like that that our systems allow franchisees to succeed and save you money along the way so that you can make sure you put more of that money into your pocket.
That's right. And I feel like when it comes to starting your own business, it can be a little bit difficult because then again, the source of your income for your business is actually going to be your clients. And if you're not in the right place for your clients to actually see you, your business could totally just go bad. Like, I mean, all the way to the very bottom. And you don't want that as a new business owner. But the perks of having a franchise system that truly supports you is that you already have that. And it was also really cool how you mentioned the buying power. Right now, as of July 2022, we have seen how businesses like the little mom and pop shops, they were struggling to just get a few ingredients for the food that they would produce or the services that they were performing. But I have seen that franchises are still there. They are still working. And even though they were quite a bit of these items that they were scarce for a little bit.
Yeah, so when you look at the success rate, the franchises, it's through the roof compared with unaffiliated type businesses who are not affiliated with a franchise. They're in it on their own. They're in it by themselves. They may have a little bit of help here and there, but they don't have the help of a strong franchise company surrounding them, as well as usually localized franchisees to help support one another. And so through the pandemic and through crisis, franchises have typically thrived even bigger and better because of those programs that are already in place. The other thing that franchises can do for you through a system is help you get through a recession. Now, we're in a time where it might be a little bit scary for some people. The inflation, the way it shot up, and the markets, the way they've gone down. What's our future look like? A lot of people think we might be headed for a recession. What a franchise system can do for you is help you weather that, because a lot of going through recession, a lot of going through difficult, challenging economic times is right here. We start thinking, oh no, here comes the recession. I better retract some things. I better not do as much advertising. I better not do as much as I used to do. I got to prepare for the worst. When during the recession usually is the time to succeed. That's the time to really get out there and take advantage of that, because a lot of other people are not. So those franchise systems help us get through those difficult, challenging times and give us that comfort. And knowing there's others around us following that same system and using the best of the best ideas to bring into our programs as well, and getting creative. Sometimes you have to get creative, like we've done in the past couple of years during a pandemic. A lot of franchise systems have got creative. But you know what? During the last couple of years, I've seen franchise companies and franchisees have the best years ever during the pandemic.
That's right.
Because they have got creative and they have a system, and the franchisees have helped add a little bit to that system to make it even better for everyone. Everyone gets to participate in the success of others because of the successful systems already in place. That doesn't mean the system is finished. We don't change the system. Nothing changes. This is it. No, that system always is adapted. And for times like in the pandemic, we're able to create things that make it even better. So we come out even stronger. And that's what we've seen in a lot of these franchise businesses during the last couple of years.
That's right. And then again, it comes to how this business model allows you to have that network of people that are truly helping you. And not only the network that you would get from the franchisor itself, because they're going to give you some support, the marketing, how to hire, how to train your employees, but also the support of other franchisees that are within your area that have gone through similar challenges that you had, and how they are able to bring their experience also into the table so everyone succeeds. Do you have any experience on how like a fellow franchisee helped you get through a certain challenge that you had in one of your businesses?
Oh, yeah, we help each other all the time through that. I mean, when you think about, in the franchise program, you think about, well, in the real world, we think, oh no, someone else is starting a business like mine down the street, or a little ways down the street, or a few miles across town. That's going to detract from me as an independent business owner. Mm-hmm. So that's a lot of the thinking as an independent. But as a franchisee, we're thinking just the opposite. Oh, good, we have another fellow franchisee, another partner in the business, building a business 3 miles away or 5 miles away or whatever it is. They won't put them too close, because that detracts from what we're trying to do here. But what it does is it increases the brand awareness. And it's like bringing coals into a fire. If you've ever sat around a campfire at night and you pull some of those coals away, and they're sitting there and they're glowing, and pretty soon they go out. But if you're together with all the other coals in the fire, it builds that warmth, it builds that synergy that helps keep that fire moving forward, especially if you put a little bit more fuel on it. It's hard to put fuel on top of one little coal. So if you're not succeeding in your franchise business, or even in an independent business, I should say, it's hard to put fuel on that sometimes to keep that rolling, versus putting it on another big fire. It just keeps it elevated. And so there's synergism that created. That's why franchises have a tendency to capture more market share than just a normal type business, is because they have that system in place and they have other people around them to help support them. So we like to have other franchisees joining us, because that only elevates everybody. You heard the old saying that the tide, when it comes in, elevates all the ships in the harbor, not just one ship. It helps elevate everybody. So that's power that you don't have in an unaffiliated type business.
And I was actually looking into what you were saying, how it's so cool to have that fellow franchisee close to you, because you know that you can count on their support. You can always count on their experiences, because they may have been in the market for a little bit longer than you, or vice versa. You even get to have the opportunity to share some of your experience with someone new that may be coming also into your area. I was also talking to fellow franchisor, and he mentioned how being in the franchise system is kind of like being in a gang. Once you get in, it just gets addictive and it's hard to get out. So, so I noticed that you started with just one franchise in the very beginning. And what made you stay within this system and keep growing and getting more and more franchises, master franchises even? What got you in love with this system?
That's wonderful, because so I'm going to give you a warning here right now. Do not look into a franchise because it does get into your bloodstream, unless you're expecting that you want something special and creative and something that will build your family and the freedom and allow you to have more time to enjoy family and other things. You do that. If you're thinking you don't want that, then don't look into a franchise, because it will get you addicted to others. So what I see happening is people that get into their first one, like you said, especially for the master franchise component, it's hard not to continue to go to get the next one and the next one and the next one, because the returns are so phenomenal. And it's just such an ideal business model. It's what I call the best kept secret in business today, is master franchising. And when you see really the components and you study that, that's a whole nother session, you'll see why we call it the best kept secret. And so you just want to keep getting more and more and more and building it and building them up, exiting it out, starting over here, building another one, exiting out, having a blast doing that. And but the most important thing for me is to see other people doing it and succeeding. And that's even more addictive to me, is to be able to see how they succeed and see their families prosper and enjoying the lifestyle that can come from being free in their own business. There's nothing else like that, especially when you have a franchise system that allows you to have a higher success rate than just about any other type of business structure out there. In fact, I don't know of another business structure that has a high of a success rate as a franchise business, because most businesses fail starting from scratch, where a franchise business has 5 times the ability to succeed versus a single or just starting a business on your own.
That's right. And it's really cool how a franchise system allows your business to grow as you're coming inside of that system. But it also has a system for you when you're trying to get out of there. Because let's say that you just want to retire and spend your last few years just like with your family. Maybe you want to keep a few of them, but maybe not. What are some of the ways that a franchise system allows you to have an exit strategy?
That's a wonderful thing, because what happens when it comes to turning around and selling your business when you're done, franchises typically have a higher multiple. So they're worth more than the typical business. When you want to sell it, you can go sell an independent business. It's usually not worth as much. Let's say it's a hamburger place that's not a franchise. The hamburger place that is a franchise usually will go for a higher amount, given the revenues and the profits are fairly similar, than the one that's sitting here in the corner that is not affiliated with a franchise. So it allows you to exit out with a higher amount and easily exit out, because the franchisor will help support the new owner coming in and allow them to succeed at a much higher level than someone else just trying to pick up with an unaffiliated business. So exit strategy is phenomenal with a franchise.
That's right. And in fact, I mean, I feel like if I were to be a business owner and later on I wanted to sell my business, who do you sell it to? Like, do you just go on KSL, hey, I'm selling my business? No, because you just don't know who to sell it to. But like having a system as a franchise provides allows you to network with all of those other franchisors. And maybe, who knows, one of your fellow franchisees on your area may be like, oh, you're selling your business? Let me buy it. How can I get in? Kind of thing. So you do have that support that a franchise system can only provide you to your business. Any other last tips for you?
Yeah, you're exactly right. That usually within the franchise systems, those are snapped up within the franchise system. Even if one is not doing so well, even if it's just doing so-so results, and that happens. I've seen successful franchisees grab the ones that are not doing so well because they already know how to do it. They get it. And so they then put their programs into the franchise that's not doing so well. And almost always they'll increase the results.
Oof.
So
Wow.
it's why won't you do that? I mean, it's the business sitting right there. All you got to do is put in what you already know and it's back up on track.
That's right. And then again, with a franchise system, you always have the blueprint that is ready for you to succeed in your business. Thank you so much again, Dan. And thank you to our audience. And we're super excited to hear more about your stories on how you start learning more about franchises and maybe even opening your very first branch on your business. See you on the next episode. And thank you so much, Dan.
Thank you.